Okay then now, my people. Now that I notice the drink has been flowing and there's more than a few smiles on faces, I'm gonna feed your soul! How? With a bit of sweet FA. Yep. You're now gonna get the tale of Sweet Fanny Adams. Now with this, I want you to, if you can, if you're still compass mentis enough, come on a little walk with me. Just up the stairs, turn back on yourself if you're still capable, and walk back up Deptford High Street. Keep going, and eventually you'll come to Convoy's Wharf. Take off your shoes and socks, have a quick toddle on the Thames, try not to drown or ingest anything, trust me on this. And then eventually, if you keep going upstream, you'll come to a place called Oughton. Now this is where we come to the tale of sweet little Fanny Adams. Fanny Adams, to give you an idea of her, you can find all this online, is a very cute little 8-year-old. She's dinky, she's got lovely little rosy cheeks, she's got lovely little ringlets and a lovely gorgeous little smile. She even wears a little pinafore frock, she's adorable. And in the year of 1867 she is 8 years old. Now Fanny is not like a normal girl. She's very inquisitive. She loves doing her own sweet thing. She loves going around the fields near her area. Okay, it's a very rural community. And yet she won't do anything she doesn't want to do. Now one day, she's playing with her 2 little friends, and in the distance she sees a gentleman coming towards her, coming towards them. This gentleman is wearing a long coat, a waistcoat, and he is very eminent within the community. He is Frederick Baker, Esquire. He is a clerk of the local solicitor, very, very well-reputed chap, largely because he is a white-collar worker, very, very bright. He sees the girls lining up and playing, as they will, looking at the daisies and the flowers, because it's the height of August. Comes along to them, says, "Hello there, my dears, how are you?" Stoops down, gets talking to them. Now they're not too sure, but at this point he says, "I've got an idea, how would you like some sweeties?" And he produces from his pocket a shiny coin. And he says to them, "Tell you what, why don't you come to the fields with me and we'll play together?" You can see where this is going, can't you? Yeah. And 2 of the girls say, "Oh, yes." And they take the coin from his smiling eyes and they skip off into the distance. Little Fanny, however, she's not stupid. She takes the coin and says, "Come on. I'll kill my own, thank you, sir." "Okay, thank you." At this point, the monster reaches down, picks the little girl up. Her little legs are flailing. Her little pinafore is jittering in the air. Chucks her over his shoulder and goes on into the hop field. Bear in mind what I'm telling you is completely and utterly true. He takes dear, sweet little Fanny up into the hop field, smashes her on the ground and brutally murders her. He chops her into tiny little pieces. Her innards resemble the worms that will eventually crawl all over her guts, but they have been splayed everywhere. The sun, remember it's the height of August, glistens down into the cooling blood that comes out from where her armholes used to be. Literally, he severed her. And finally, eventually, he leans down and the utter monster grabs out her eyes, pulls them and throws them. The last thing her eyes see, presumably before they go to blackness forever, is the fact her innards have been splayed all over that hop field, seriously far and wide, and her brains are on a stone nearby. They eventually fall into the river. Completely true. Now, this comes to where we know the phrase from, Sweet F.A. or Sweet Fanny Adams, because 2 years later, in 1869, surprise, surprise, there were local cuts. And the way these cuts impacted particularly is if you come down to Convoy's Wharf, there was a local naval base. This naval base was basically full of sailors. And sailors have a pretty nasty sense of humour. Now, the cuts impacted on them because all of a sudden the meat they'd been used to that sustained them through their hard working days was changed to mutton. Not particularly nice, and it was tinned. And they came up with the idea that actually it's a way of saving costs. Their bosses, nice guys though they are, see, it didn't start with David Cameron. Their bosses had instead taken the rotting remains of this little girl that had been splayed everywhere and had literally got them as they flowed down the stream and had packaged them in these tins. The meat they were eating they thought was worthless. It was the dead meat of this little girl. Sweet FA. It's a bloody horrible story. Trust me. Yeah, I do this for a living. However, Fanny did get some restitution. Mr. Fred Baker at first said, oh, it wasn't me, it was, yeah, sure, I was drunk and I saw some little girls, but hey, I give, little girls everywhere, a couple of coins, go and get some sweets, who wouldn't? Yeah, who wouldn't? However, about his person were found 2 knives. Walking down Deptford High Street with these is always fun. And one of them was found with the blood of this little girl. He was duly tried, and eventually, does help you get in the right way, yeah, he's awesome. Eventually he confessed, and we now know that he gave a letter to Fanny's parents saying, I'm truly sorry, what I did was wrong, forgive me. And he was hanged, having essentially made his peace with God. Moreover, Fanny, who was such a sparky little character, she enjoyed life. She loved running about in those fields and playing with her friends. She was given community restitution. If you go up to the area now, you will actually see her grave. It was put together and the headstone was placed there by public conscription. Literally speaking, the local community actually put money together to honour this little girl. But I'm not happy with that. It doesn't sound very nice, partly because when we think about it, we have 2 really horrible aspects of the story. We have the aspect of the meat, we have the aspect of this poor little girl's eyes. Therefore, I say we change it. Now if you would with me, those of you who have them, raise your glasses. Whenever you drink or take a bite, whether it be bilious or sheer delight, see the world through a child's eyes and live every moment with wonder. Here is to Sweet Fanny Adams. Take care, thank you for being with us, and from me, good night.
Hey.
To Fanny.
Fanny.